Grocery shopping is an essential part of life, especially as you grow up. When you're young, you can go and grab candy from the aisles and convince your mum to buy them for you. But as an adult, it's more of a mundane task that you have to do probably weekly just to sustain yourself. I mean, personally, I love grocery shopping, but that's just me. There are aisles and aisles filled with every ingredient you could ever possibly need. Spices from all around the world and cuisines farther than you can ever reach. It's really an adult's playground, systemically built to make sure you spend the most time there and you spend the most money there. It's a complete science down to where the items are placed, how large the store is, how you walk through the store. Companies even pay money to make sure their products are at exactly eye level. It's insane, and the more research you do into it, the more you never want to step into a grocery store again. But what if there was a grocery store that stripped all of that away, that didn't take all of that into account and stripped the store down to a bare minimum? Would you spend less money? Is that a good way to maintain your budget while grocery shopping? Hi guys, it's Lainey, and in this video I'm going to be seeing if shopping at Audi rather than a big grocery store is better for your budget. I really hope you enjoy. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe down below, and let's get on to the video. I was born and raised in Perth, Australia, which is an incredibly beautiful city, but due to its isolation from the rest of Australia, it can be quite expensive. I live here with my boyfriend Sam and my kitten Archie, and I love to cook. Love to cook. I think it's the most fun thing ever. I really enjoy experimenting with different flavors and cuisines and spices and making sure the food that you eat isn't boring, so I quite like grocery shopping. A few research articles that I found that Australians spend between $150 and to over $300 a week on groceries, which to me is insane, and that budget doesn't even include going out to eat, getting takeaway, buying the odd lunch at work. It's an insane amount of money, and it's really interesting to look at. While it is a large amount of money, I think it is understandable in the way that grocery stores are made, how they're scientifically calculated, and especially with the westernized culture that we live in, everyone wants the best of the best and wants as much of it as they can get, so it's not hard to spend that much money, I've found. In Australia we have two main supermarkets, Coles and Woolworths. These stores have been around forever and they have dominated the grocery scene since as long as I've been alive, because they're the only places I normally shop at. In Australia we also have a lot of independent grocery stores such as IGAs and Good Grocers. These are beautiful stores and definitely somewhere you can shop. However, I found that the prices are quite high, but the produce is amazing. Frankly, I just don't earn enough money to frequently shop in these places, so I don't.
I don't frequently shop in these places, but they are definitely somewhere I go probably once a week because they're open 24 hours near my house, and it is spectacular. So handy at nighttime if you want something really specific.
This video also isn't taking into account other independent grocery stores, farmers markets, bulk food stores, or any other way of getting groceries, just because I want to focus on the bigger supermarkets and how you can control your budget in there. The Coles and Woolworths stores in Australia are often beautiful. I personally lean towards Woolworths just because that's where I've always gone. The stores are always beautiful. The one near my house has so many open windows and it's a really inviting environment, which is exactly what they want it to be, because then you want to go and spend more money there. Coles and Woolworths had the monopoly on supermarkets in Australia for as long as I can remember, but there was a game changer coming, and it has been really interesting to see how this has revolutionized the grocery shopping industry in Australia. I know in America you guys have so many grocery stores, it's insane, and you have cashier-less ones, which is crazy to me, but this is revolutionary in Australia. In 2001, the first Audi store opened. Audi is a German-owned grocery store that looks to supply their own brand stuff, really minimize the grocery shopping experience and make sure it's the best experience for their customers. In Perth, where I'm from, the first Audi didn't open until 2016, which is 15 years later, but that's pretty standard for Perth. I personally had never shopped in an Audi before. I've been in to pick up a few things, but I'd never done a full grocery shop there. When it first opened, there was a lot of criticism about the freshness of the produce and not supporting Australian farmers, but I think they have come a long way since then. I was really intrigued this week to see what they could offer and how my grocery shopping experience would change. The store was very clean, it was very nice to look at, but the first thing I noticed when I walked in was how small it was. It may have just been the store that I went to, but it was very minimal in its aisles. I think it had 2, maybe 3 rows of aisles, and that was it, which is very different to the Woolworths that we normally go to, which has closer to 20, plus the fruit and vegetable section. It was very small, so it was very easy to navigate and very easy to find the things you were looking for because there really wasn't much choice. It also for me did eliminate that choice aspect of grocery shopping and the wanting more aspect, because you could really only get what you were looking for. There wasn't a million types of tinned tomatoes or lentils or baked beans or anything like that. You just had a few options, you picked the one you wanted, and that was it, you moved on. Overall, I think we were in the grocery store for about 15 minutes and we got everything we needed for a week. I know these clips, it doesn't look like a lot of food, but it is what sustains us normally, and it was probably the quickest grocery trip I've ever been on, which was very interesting to me. Another interesting thing about Aldi is they have this special buy section in the middle of the aisles, and this is the most random conjunction of things you can find. There was like an oven, a stove top, a planter pot, socks, kids activity books, outdoor furniture, indoor furniture, clothes. I'm pretty sure it was just anything random you can imagine was probably in the special buys. I know that these are normally good deals. I personally didn't look too much into it because I didn't want to buy anything outside of groceries, just for the sake of this video and also for the sake of my own budget. So I didn't look there, but if you are looking for something specific, it might not be a bad idea to check it out because you could get something for a really good price. Overall, the trip was really smooth. The difference in pricing comes from the staffing. There wasn't a lot of staff. As I said, there's not a lot of options. You do have to bag your own groceries, which is honestly fine. I don't mind that. And yeah, it was just a pretty simple, generic, bear down grocery trip. Overall, our groceries came to $65.44. That's about $30 less than we normally spend, which is crazy to me. We got everything that we could possibly need, so I was very impressed with that. I've changed now, but I thought it would be really interesting to do a bit of a price comparison on what I would spend on these groceries at Woolworths. So I'm just going to go on their online site. That is something I want to point out about Aldi, is you can't shop online at all. You can't even look up the prices. They only have their catalogue online. I suppose there is something about that. I don't really understand why, especially in the world that we live in. You kind of need to be online to survive, so they might be making one in the future. But for right now, I'm just going to go through Woolworths and start to add everything up. And my total for Woolworths came to $80.30, which is a difference of $14.86, which doesn't sound like a lot, but add that up by a year and that's almost $800 saved. If you can shop at Aldi, I think it's a great option to have. I think if you can sustain yourself on the food that's there and you're not too fussed about the types of food you're buying, if you don't want name brands, you're happy with generic stuff, I think it's great. Obviously it was a little bit cheaper and we're quite happy with the food. One thing to note was we actually got a big red capsicum that we used last night and used tonight, and we found out that there was mold in the middle, which is, you can't really tell that with a capsicum when you buy it. We've never had moldy food before from Woolworths where we normally go, so that's just something to keep in mind. Obviously I don't think that's a detraction on Aldi. It is a shame, but you can't really tell with capsicums because it's all enclosed. It is what it is. It was just something to note. I really enjoyed my shopping experience, and I don't know that I would shop at Aldi every single week because I really like my Woolworths trip, but it is something I would do every now and again. If you enjoyed this video and you like more documentary style videos, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe down below because I really like this style and I want to get more into it. I also make new videos every Monday and Thursday, so stick around if you enjoy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!